All right, you don't hear much in the way of Western these days, certainly when it comes to the theaters either,
That's right. And but that's changed recently, and not for the sake of big sweeping landscapes or cowboy hats on the big screen either. The movie Hell or High Water is a flick that has some present-day problems, but when you look at it at its root, it's a good old cops and robbers movie. All right, our certified movie critic Tony Gonzalez is here. She has more.
You know, the bank loan, just enough to keep your mama poor. Thought they could swipe her land.
It's a big bank.
It's too big. That's what she said.
Now they can foreclose on Friday. So come hell or high water,
Get the money to the bank on Thursday.
and then you are free and clear.
Well, that fella was kind enough to lay out the reason for our need of money in this story. But perhaps he should have been a little clearer as to how to get the money.
Good morning, folks. Open the drawers. You got a gun on you, old man?
You damn right I got a gun on me. Y'all gonna steal my gun too?
We ain't stealing from you, we're stealing from the bank.
And folks, that's an important distinction. At least it is to this pair of brothers, but not so much to these two rangers.
I may have one hunt left in me.
And so the stage is set. The robbers go from bank to bank, and the boys in brown are in hot pursuit. But there's more to this tried and true story of good versus bad. The message is actually more timely.
In Westerns, one of the themes is the times they are changing, you know, whether it's automobiles coming in or whatever. In this case, it's banks, you know, owning most of the land and really putting the people at risk of losing their homes and causing people to do some desperate things like robbing banks.
We saw this obviously happen in the last 10 years, 7 years, and it's awful. And this is what happens when people fight back. And it's not a morality play as much as it's just putting a mirror up to society and saying this is what happens when you put men in the corner of a tight cage. Is they're going to do anything they can to survive.
It's reckless is what it is.
Don't get all worked up thinking that this is a one-dimensional story. It's one of many layers. Yes, it's a Western. Yes, it's a story of brotherly love. And yes, it's a story about honoring the legacy of our parents. It's all of that and more. But perhaps Pine summed it up the best, having this to say.
Ultimately, this is not some sort of pedantic morality play. It's a fun bank heist film. It's a fun way to spend an hour and a half in the movie theater, you know? And I think it should be seen in the theaters. This is a Western cowboy tale about landscapes and men and women and you know, hostile places, and it should be seen in that kind of environment.
You want a little advice?
No, I don't.
For his co-star Ben Foster, he was drawn to the more emotional aspect of it.
And how rare it is to have somebody who's like, I got you. Like, to feel that. We don't have it in government. We sometimes have it at home, but most of the time we have to organize and order our own security. And that's what True Brotherhood is about.
Love you, Toby.
Mean it.
Love you too.
You want to get us killed? Huh?
All right, Tony joins us now. She has seen the movie. She will not stop talking about it. So Gonzalez, spill it.
First of all, Chris Pine in a cowboy hat. Can you see my uterus glowing? Like, seriously, he is H-O-T.
You're like,
So
I don't
good.
care if he's a robber, a felon.
Okay, but seriously, you guys know when I come to a movie and I bring a movie to you guys, it's very rarely after the fact. It's almost always a preview. This is the exception because this is how much I love this movie.
Okay.
It is my favorite movie of the year so far.
Ooh.
I know, it's August. Now, this is the time of year that really good ones start to pick up and kind of come out. This, I hope, is the first of many, but still, and it has nothing to do with the fact that it was shot in my homeland of New Mexico.
Just a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, but really, I mean, let's talk about the script. The script at its core is a cops and robbers movie. But as I was saying, it's a story of brotherly love. I mean, the brothers, you can just, Ben Foster and Chris Pine have
stand
this
up for each
really
other, yeah.
good like chemistry. And then Jeff Bridges, how do you not love Jeff Bridges?
I know, I do. I love him.
And do you find yourself rooting for the cops or the robbers in this one?
Well, it's Chris Pine, so
Well.
I'm kind of like, go Chris Pine, go Chris Pine. You know, I don't know. I lost count of how many movies I've seen, and I can kind of predict endings. This one wasn't as predictable as I thought it was. It was a little
Interesting.
surprising.
That makes it good.
Okay.
And it's one of those ones that you're going to go home going, oh, so what do you think happened? Well, what do you think
Okay.
happened? So that's one of the
Keeps
really
you
good
thinking.
things.
So a
It's
good
well
date
over.
movie, so you have something to talk about
It is a
afterward.
good date movie.
Yeah.
And the pacing of it was like super fantastic. You know, those kind of movies have the tendency to kind of make it a little boring.
Yeah.
This was
That
not
one.
the case at all.
Alrighty.
No, I loved it. Favorite movie of the year thus far. Go see it. It's already out. Go see it.
And you are in love with the diner scene. I know that you said it's the best diner scene since When Harry Met
When
Sally.
Harry Met
We're going to
Sally.
put that up on Facebook
Yep.
so you can see Tony's favorite ordering at the diner scene. And speaking
Yep.
of food,